All right. Hi, good evening. I'm going to start with the class. We have two things mainly, right, to do today to finish this course and to finish everything. We have one more lesson to cover. All right, that's the only one that is left. And we have the oral presentation. Okay, so of course, as I'm waiting for you, I'm going to be then developing the last topic that we have to cover today. And then we're going to try to use the rest of the time to work on the oral presentation, right? If in any case you cannot be here, well, I'm going to try to extend some of that information for the contents that we had. But let's see. All right, let's see. First, let's work on this one. This is the last lesson for the last unit, right? Today we finish everything. Phrasal verbs. This is something that we've seen before, right? What is a phrasal verb? It's a verb, right, that is composed of 2 or 3 parts, right? You have the main verb plus 1 or 2 particles. Let's take a look at them. So what is a phrasal verb? You know, right? It's a verb. Like, for example, run, go, but it has 2 parts, right? Go out, run into. Those are phrasal verbs. Is a phrasal verb used as a verb? Yes, that's what we said. Can a phrasal verb be conjugated in past or future? Yes, right? Because if they are verbs, they can be present, past, future. For example, go out, right? I always go out on the weekend. I went out, right, to celebrate my birthday, or I will go out next week, right? So present, past, future. We have the conjugation for phrasal verbs. In this case, go out. In the phrasal verb eat out, the correct conjugation is, you know, right? The verb is conjugated. If it's regular, ed. If it's irregular, you have to look for that change. In this case, it is irregular. That's why it's going to be ate out, right? We know that. Now, these are some of the phrasal verbs that we already learned, Leandro. So it's important to remember these phrasal verbs. Just in case, please give me 1 second. I'm going to verify that I'm using the right meeting. Yes. Okay, good. Now, as I was saying, these are phrasal verbs that I already covered. We have go on, go over, run into, come across, and get off. All of those are the first verse, phrasal verbs that we covered were inseparable phrasal verbs. Okay, go on means continue, right? So to resume, let's say, an activity, right? Go on, to continue. Go over, you have the definition here is to review something, right? To see something one more time, to practice with that. Run into, to find someone unexpectedly or accidentally, by accident. Come across the same, but usually you use this with objects, right? You can come across an object when you were cleaning your room, right? So it was not on purpose. It's also by accident. And get off, right? Again, all of these can have variations, but get off in this case is related to vehicles, right? To exit a vehicle. You can get in or get on a vehicle and you get off that vehicle, right? So that's just reviewing something that we already covered. So the definition: a phrasal verb is a verb that consists of a verb and a particle, sometimes two, as we said. A phrasal verb can be conjugated in any tense, just like any other verbs. Is what we said, present, past, future. It depends on you, and you have to see if it's logic that you conjugate something in past or future. Sometimes, right, one tense is better for that word, for that phrasal verb. But you have to decide, right, according to the idea you want to give. So in present, tolerate, what is the phrasal verb to say tolerate? Put up with. 3 words, right? So I tolerate that awful noise every day, you can say, or I put up with that awful noise every day, present. In future, another one, we will review that topic. What is the phrasal verb for review? We saw that. Go over. We will go over that topic. Future. Past. She met her uncle by accident. All right, so they had an encounter that was not planned, and she ran into her uncle, right? So perhaps in the street they were walking, and right out of nowhere they just ran into each other. All right, now types. Again, everything here at the beginning is just introduction, is just reviewing, because we covered that one. So we have two types. We already covered inseparable phrasal verbs. Here now we have to cover separable phrasal verbs, right? So inseparable phrasal verbs. An inseparable phrasal verb is a phrasal verb which does not allow an object to be placed between the verb and the particle, right? So you cannot divide, you cannot separate those two words. They have to be together. Now, let's work with this. Here we have some ideas. Now let me see. I think in this one we're going to review both. Yes, we're going to take a look at separable and inseparable ones. Okay, let's continue. I don't know, perhaps I'm going to cover this. Then I'm going to see perhaps the messages or something. And well, I'm going to continue afterwards. So from these four, we worked these before. The ones that we said are important, we work with come across. So we said count on, but also come across and count on. These are two very important, right? So we said come across means find accidentally, right? So the example says, while cleaning the house, I came across a check I had forgotten to deposit. All right, so again, this is something that happened accidentally. It was not planned. It was just an accident. All right, when you find something accidentally. Count on, right, to depend on or rely on. I'm counting on you to send me the information, right? So I'm depending on you, I rely on you for you to do that action. By the end of the day, I need it as soon as possible. Okay, those are the two most important ones there. Here we have many, well, that are important, but get rid of, that's the one we covered. Go over, we know, look after, and look forward to, right? Those are the three that we also covered. To get rid of, right, that's to eliminate or throw away. The example says we have, rats in the house. We need to call the exterminator to get rid of them. Okay, so get rid of them, to eliminate them, to throw them away in this case. And again, these are inseparable, right? They have to be together. Then look after something or someone. This is like taking care of. All right, to take care of someone is the same as looking after someone in this case. And the example says, I can't go out tonight because I'm looking after my sister. And the last one, look forward to something. This is to be excited or to be happy about something in the future. All right, and the example says, I'm really looking forward to our family vacation in Florida. It's going to be awesome. All right, so this is in this case, and what I'm doing now is a review of the phrasal verbs that we covered. This is the last lesson that we have for this unit. And the first part is review of the inseparable verbs that we know. And then we're going to cover some separable phrasal verbs, to finish the unit and to finish the last lesson. All right, so we're going to do this first before we can continue. In the next part, the half to finish the presentation is going to be for you to have the oral presentation. All right, so let's work then with this land. We're going to then keep working. I was here, and we're going to try to remember actually this with you just by speaking. For example, these are inseparable phrasal verbs. Remember that to come across means to find something accidentally, right? For example, while I was cleaning the house, I came across a check I had forgotten to deposit. So, what example can you give me, Leandro, to tell me that you come across or you came across in the past and that it was by accident?
Um, when um, I don't know. Um, when I was cleaning my room, I come across with um a photo album. It's correct.
Okay, yes, but remember, you don't use another preposition, just I came across an album of photos or a photo album, right? But without
Okay.
with. Okay,
Okay.
good. Good. That's one. Great. And the next one is count on. This is very easy, right? To count on someone or something, to depend on something or someone, to rely on something or someone. And the example says, I'm counting on you to send me the information by the end of the day. I need it as soon as possible. So, what example can you give me using count on?
Um, I'm counting on um counting on my partners to finish the assignment.
Yes. If it's a group right assignment, then you are counting on them to finish the assignment. Okay, good. Let's go to the next part. Here we have get rid of. It eliminate, throw away, right? We have rats in the house. We need to call the exterminator to get rid of them. So what example can you give me using get rid of something?
Mm, um, I don't know. I get rid of my garbage of my room, my
Okay.
room's garbage.
Okay, that is good, but that is like in present, right? How can you say that in past? Because I believe that's a past idea.
Okay, I was get rid of um, my
Remember that in this case,
bedroom's garbage.
but as they are, remember if you use was, you need continuous, right? I was getting, for example. But here you don't need continuous because it's not the context unless you have a second part. But if you don't have a second part of what you're telling me, then you need the simple past, right? So what is the simple past of get rid of?
Mm, a simple past got rid of.
Exactly. So with that one, please, one more time with that simple past.
Okay, I got rid of um, my room's garbage.
Okay, good. Remember, you only use the verb to be if you want to use continuous or if it's passive voice, right? If not, we don't have to use the verb to be. So good, that's get rid of. Now, look after, it means to take care of something or someone. An example is, I can't go out tonight because I'm looking after my sister's children. So what do you say? What example can you give using look after, to take care of?
Mm, okay. Um, I'm gonna um, I'm gonna mm, how do you say cuidar? Like
Yeah, this is the
just
word. Look after.
okay.
Huh?
Okay. I'm gonna look after my little cousin,
Okay,
maybe.
yes, that is valid. Yes, I'm gonna look after my little cousin or my cousin. Good. The last one in this one, look forward to. It means to feel happy or excited about something in the future, right? For example, I'm really looking forward to our family vacation in Florida, right? So you feel excited about this family vacation. So what example can you give me with this phrasal verb, right? Three words. Look forward to. What do you say?
Mm, um, I am uh, looking forward to you get graduate, maybe.
All right, in that one, you have to just mention an object, so it can be your graduation. Okay, I'm
Okay.
looking forward to your graduation. Let's repeat that idea, please.
I'm looking forward to your graduation.
All right, we have, I think, just two more. Yes, from this one, only one. We're going to say um, run into. Okay, this is run into someone, to meet a person unexpectedly. For example, I ran into my ex-boyfriend at the supermarket. So what do you say? What example can you give with run into, to meet someone unexpectedly or by accident?
Um, and I ran into mm, my best friend in the bus.
Yes, I ran into my best friend, right, on the bus. And that one is going to be past, right? Ran into. Good. All right, so again, that's review. We're going to stop there with that one. Now, again, we're going to have the 15 minutes that we said, well, actually just 5 to 10 minutes for the presentation, then 5 for the questions. So we're going to use 10 to 15 more minutes to cover this second part and the last one that we finish today. Let's read, please, this definition of separable phrasal verbs.
Okay, a separable phrasal verb is a transitive phrasal verb which allows an object to be placed between the verb and its particle, or after the whole verb.
Great, right? So you can separate or divide. This is our extra clarifications. We don't care about that, but these examples are important. Let's read the three examples, please, and tell me what is the difference that you see in them.
And the terrorist blew up the car. The terrorist blew the car up. The terrorist blew it up.
Good. So what do you see here? What differences do you see, and what is happening with the phrasal verb to blow up?
Mm, um, the um, the object change the place between the verb, the phrasal verb, in the middle or in at the final or at the last.
Yes, good. Or you can say at the end or after the phrasal verb, right? Not always at the end, but yes, after the phrasal verb. So yes, correct. We can see the possible places that the object can have, right? After the phrasal verb being a noun, in the middle being a noun, and in the middle being a pronoun, right? And if it's a pronoun, it has to be in the middle. It cannot be afterwards. So these are important elements to take into account. Let's read this one, please.
Okay. Pronouns, very important. If we are to use a pronoun with separable phrasal verb, we cannot use the pronoun after the phrasal verb. It must be in between the phrasal verb. For example, please wake me up at 6 a.m. Please wake up me at 6 a.m.
Good, right? So this is what I told you. If you use a pronoun, me, it, you, it has to be in the middle, right? It cannot be after the phrasal verb. That's the first. This is the second one. Let's also read this, please. Length.
Length. If the object is too long, place it after the phrasal verb, not in between. For example, we have to pad off the important meeting that you told me. No, we have to pad the important meeting that you told me off. You could simply say, we have to pad it off.
Great, right? So if the object is too long, it has to be after the phrasal verb, right? Not in the middle. Or you can simply, as it says there, use the pronoun, right? So we have to put it off. It means we have to put off the important meeting that you told, because that's the object, all right? So good. Now this is the last practice, and after this we go to your presentation. We're just going to practice some of them, not all of them. Important things here are, I'm going to mark them, and we're going to read, please. The first one is going to be cheer up, and then is going to be figure out. Okay, these two are the most important ones here. So let's read, please. Cheer up, Leandro, the meaning and the example.
Okay, cheer someone up. Make a sad person feel happy. My daughter, yes, daughter, was sad about missing the concert, but I bought her a CD to help cheer her up.
Great, thank you. Yes, it's correct, daughter, right? So my daughter was sad about missing the concert. So what example can you give me then? Again, to cheer someone up is to make that person feel happy because that person doesn't feel good, right? Is sad, depressed. In general, is not feeling good. So you have to animate, you have to motivate to feel better, right? So what example do you say, or can you give me in this case?
Okay, my dog um, was always sad when I left my home, but when um, when I um, get, or how do you say volver?
It depends. If it's past, you can say when I got back or when I returned, returned or got back.
Okay, when I got back, um, he cheered her up.
Okay, but here is a
Ah,
girl, right?
yes, cheer his up.
But in that one also, you are saying that the dog cheered himself up. Okay, but in this case, you have to talk about an interaction between two things, right? So you have to tell me if you cheered your dog up or if your dog cheered you up. Okay, but if you say, for example, the dog cheer him, but you are not talking about a man, another man, then you can say cheer me up, or you can say cheer himself up, se animó a sí mismo. Okay, so what is the
Okay.
best option in your case, Leandro? Do you want to say that the dog cheer himself up? It was for him and to him, or the dog, or you cheered your dog up, or your dog cheered you up. What do you say? Which is the best option there?
Um, that I cheer my dog.
Up, right? You cheered your dog
Cheer.
up. So you
Yes.
can say, we can complete the sentence that you can say, then I got back and I cheered my dog up. So let's repeat that
Okay.
part, please.
Um, my dog was always sad when I left my home, but when I got back, I uh, cheered my dog up.
Exactly. Or you can say him or her. It depends, right, on the dog's sex,
Yes.
but it's correct. Good. Okay, so that's to cheer up. It can be to oneself. It's not incorrect. You can say, I cheered myself up. It means that you made yourself feel happy, right? So your dog also, right, can cheer himself or herself or itself up. But usually, again, it's an interaction between one person making another person feel better. All right, now that's cheer. Now figure out, let's do the same, please, Leandro. Let's read the definition or the meaning plus the example that we got there.
Okay. Figure something out. Understand, find a solution. Could you help me with this math problem? I can't figure it out.
Good, thank you. Now here it is the math problem, right? So what example can you give me with figure something out? It means to understand something or to find a solution for something. So what do
Um,
you say?
okay. I figure, figure, uh, figure your problem out, or figure out your problem.
Yes, in both cases, it's going to be correct. And if it's past, it's going to be figured, right? I figured your
Figure.
problem out. Good. Okay, to solve or to understand a problem. Good. That's two there, two here. So we're going to have, it's up here, to give out, okay, to distribute, let down, that's common, that's important, but not that one, and put away. All right, so let's read give out, please, Leandro. Give something out.
Okay, give something out. Distribute. Please print 100 copies of this report and give them out to all employees.
Now, to distribute, right? To give something to an amount of people. So this, I believe, is kind of easy, but what do you say? What example can you give me with give something out?
Please give the exam out to all your um, to all your how do you say compañero, partner, or
Yeah, it
like
depends, right? If
in the
it's
school
school classmates, then it can be.
classmates? Yes, to all your classmates.
Great, perfect, good. Please give the exams right out to all your classmates. Great. Give out, right? Distribute. What about put something away, Elian? Let's read that one first.
Okay. Put something away. Put something in the correct place. After you are done reading those magazines, please put them away.
Good, right? So again, it's anything that you are using, but you have to put it in its place, right? In the correct place, not anywhere. It has to be in the place where it has to be. All right, so what example can you give me with put something away?
Um, I putting 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 off sorry putting away um all my clothes.
Yes. If you are organizing in the sense that you're putting the clothes in their place, it is correct, right? Yes. So you can say, I'm putting away my clothes or I'm putting my clothes away, right? In both cases, it can work. Good. We have few more to cover. We're about to finish, all right? And after this, again, we have the presentation and a few. Give me a second. Yes, we have more than enough time. Here, these are the words we're going to work. Throw away, that is like get rid of, right? And turn down, like refusing or rejecting something. So let's throw something away, please.
Okay. Throw something away. Put something in the garbage. I threw the headphones away because they were broken.
Good. Now, in this one, as the meaning is to put something in the garbage, you don't have to say that in the example, right? So in your example, you just say the object and we imagine that they are being thrown away, right, to the garbage. So what example can you give in this case, Leandro, to throw something away?
I threw um I threw away I threw um I threw away the useless things of my room when I got to a new house. It's
Okay,
correct.
yes, yes, I threw away all the useless, right, things when I moved, perhaps you can say, right, when I moved to a new house. Yes, it is correct. Good. And it can be right. Throw useless things away. That's going to be very good. Or throw away the useless things. But if it's in the middle, it's going to be better. Good. That's one. The next one, turn something or someone down. Let's read that one, please.
Okay. Turn someone or something down. Reject or refuse. She got a job offer from a big company, but she turned it down to pursue a career in music.
Great, right? So it's to reject something. You can turn down many things, offers, right? Jobs, in general, things that people are telling you to do. So, what example can you give me with this one, Leandro? To turn someone or something down, to reject, to refuse.
Um, I got a scholarship, but I turned it down um, because it's too because the place is too far.
Okay. All right. Yes, that's a very good example. Correct. Right. In that case, you rejected the offer of getting a scholarship because of the distance, right, between where you live and where you have to go for that study. Good. That's great. Now we are really about to finish. Actually, we finished with that one. We are going to read these phrasal verbs now, and we start with your presentation. Let's read these phrasal verbs to remember the meaning, please, Leandro.
Okay. List to noun for Pearson. Clear up, clarify, explain, dream up, think of a plan or idea, figure out, solve a problem, hand in, distribute or give, kick out, make someone leave a place, let down, fail to do something for someone, pass on, transmit, and tell something that you've heard, pull off, succeed, doing great at something difficult, turn up, make louder, increase the volume, leave out, not include something.
All right, great. Now again, we're not going to practice those ones. It's mainly for you to take a look at those meanings and the way to use those words. All right, now we are going to stop the presentation there. We got to see at least superficially the lesson itself, phrasal verbs. Now, let me know please if you have questions about phrasal verbs, again, in a general way, If not, we're going to go to that presentation. Let me know, please, Leandro.
And I don't have questions.
All right. So please, let's do it again. I'm going to read the structure just in case so that you can work on this. Let's remember that we're going to try to speak for 10 minutes. Okay, it's kind of a lot. And you're going to use your timer. Okay, it's important that you use your timer to control your time. I'm also going to use my timer, but the closer you get to 10 minutes, the better. Okay, and after the 10 minutes, we have a short conversation. So let's remember, you need three parts in your presentation. You need an introduction with a question that shows two options. You have to pick one of those options and you have to give a short explanation why you want that option, and shortly you have to develop the benefits, right? Then you have the body. You have to explain the benefits or why that option is the best. You have to contrast the ideas that you had at the beginning, and you have to show examples and facts, right? And finally, the conclusion is just to summarize the information, to mention why you still believe that your option is the best, and to finish the presentation. But that's it in general. I don't know if you have questions before starting with your presentation. You're going to share the screen in a moment, and and that's it. I'm going to be taking notes to give you some feedback, and I'm going to be controlling the time, but I'm not going to tell you when you stop. You have to decide that. That's why you have to use a timer as well. So,
Okay.
any questions or comments before starting? Let me know, please, Elia.
No, I don't have questions.
All right, so I'm going to be ready with the timer. I'm stopping, all right, with my screen. Now you can share yours. You tell me when you are ready and we begin.
Okay. Mm, mm, Okay. It's visible.
Yes, I can see your screen. Very good.
Okay. I'm gonna start.
Good. Let's do it, please.
Okay. Good evening, Luis. I'm gonna explain you the differences between playing the guitar with a pick or versus playing the guitar with the fingers. Okay, playing the guitar with a pick versus playing the guitar with the fingers. Um, Playing the guitar is popular art and um, mm, a form to make music. And there is a debate among the guitarists about the use of a pick or play with fingers. In this presentation, I will show you the advantages or disadvantages of each technique. Advantages of using a pick. Using a pick provides several benefits for guitarists. Using a pick allows you for a faster playing, while playing with the fingers it's more slow. While you you can obtain a more sharper and and clean tone because the pick is made for a hard material, and you can get great control also. And this using a pick provides you to produce a sharper tone and a more precise tone. Advantages of playing with fingers. Playing with fingers allows you play softer and more delicate things. You can produce a clean tone, but more sweet tone in the tone of the guitar. But also this technique limits your speed, and you can get hurt if you play for a long time this using this technique. Okay, practice and patience. I mentioned that because you need to know that no matter which technique and do you prefer, or if one it's better than the other one, it's important to practice and be patient, because you can practice and master either technique and become a better guitarist with the two ways to playing the guitar. In conclusion, playing the guitar with a pick is in my opinion, a superior technique because it offers a consistent tone, faster playing, great control, and a sharper tone, and more precise sound. So with practice and patience, anyone can become a great guitarist. Thank you for listening.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Leandro. Now, I'm going to make you expand some ideas, all right? So try to use some more time, and then I'm going to give you, well, some other questions. But first, let's expand. All right, for example, what are your references as guitarist? Do you have any favorite guitar players?
Yeah, for me, the best guitarist in the world for me is um, Steve Vai,
Okay,
and he can play faster, and also he plays with a pick, and he play faster, play with and he has a in my opinion a perfect sound in his guitar and in
okay.
his technique.
Good, very good. All right. So I'm going to ask more questions. Remember here, I'm not going to be able to help you with some words. So try to explain everything just with the words that you have. Okay. So if you have to use some adjectives, anything that comes to your mind, how can you describe Steve Vai's playing? I mean, how can you describe his playing just in a couple of adjectives? Besides being fast and besides the word fast, what do you say? What other adjectives can you give to his play?
Okay. How do you say virtuoso or virtuosismo?
Okay, yes, I'm going to say that at the end. Now I'm not going to answer, all right, to those questions. Now you have to tell me just with the words that you know, okay, because I'm
Okay.
still part of this evaluation. So what,
Okay.
how can you explain that? How you can try to explain that differently with other words?
Okay. I think that is virtuous. Like, um, he don't fail any note. Um he has a great technique. He's a technique guitarist, and yes, her tone and his way of play the guitar um, has a mm, um, has a sharper, has he has a precise. He have sorry, he has great control in great control of the guitar.
Okay, good. Now, how can you describe the type of playing that you don't like? What is the type of playing the guitar that you don't like and why?
um I don't like the way of playing the guitar of the guitarist of Dire Straits. I don't remember his name, but he play with the fingers and play electric guitar. So and the sound is it's softer and it is not um, mm, louder.
All right, very good. The last two, all right, the last two questions
Mhm.
before I give you a very short. I'm taking notes, all right, and I'm going to give you that feedback. Now,
Okay.
when talking about, all right, finger style, right, and not let's say the electric guitar. Let's talk about classic guitar. Do you have any references about classic guitar and something that you like about finger style with classic guitar?
Um, yeah, I like the finger style, but um, um, I know I don't know how to say that, but more in covers of internet, because have a different tone. Um, the finger style has a relaxing tone, and for for times when when I need to get relaxed, I listen for a fingerstyle a video or a fingerstyle song.
Good. Perfect. Okay. And the last one again, this is just related to the topic because it's part of the presentation.
Mhm.
Then I'm going to give you the general feedback. Okay. So the last one, which one for you is like the best solo, let's say, all right, on electric guitar and why?
The best solo or in electric guitar, uh, I don't know, but
Or you can
uh,
give me two or three, perhaps, your top three or
okay,
two.
okay. Um, I I think in my top three, need to be a solo of "Sweet Child of Mine" of Guns N' Roses.
Good, good. That's one. Two more, please.
Mm, and the solo of um, Hotel California also,
All right.
and the solo of Freebird of Liner Skirner. Skirner? I don't know.
Oh, all right. Good. And very shortly, very shortly. Why? Why is that your top three? What is the characteristic that those solos have in general to make you like them?
Mm, and those solos are melodics and are um, longs also, and um, and yes, have a maybe a hard tone, but um, but have also speed.
All right. Very good. Great. Now, I think with that, it's enough. It is very good. Now, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to give you my general feedback about some details. All right. This is mainly to improve your speaking. All right. So this is the general idea that I'm going to give. Okay, so the presentation again, it's something related to again a topic that you like. Sorry, and it's very good. All right, again, playing with a pick or playing with finger style. Perhaps we were missing a little bit the organization over here. All right, it was good, but it could have been a little bit better organized. All right, like the introduction, the body mentioning. Perhaps you could have shown a list of benefits, right? And then a contrast with the other option to make it even more clear. But again, it was good, but I think it could have been better organized. All right, just that one. In terms of the speaking part, it was also pretty good, but I have these observations that you can take into account. For example, instead of saying I'm gonna explain you, that's incorrect because explain it's going to be followed by to. So you have to say I'm gonna explain to you. Okay, I'm gonna explain to you. So let's repeat that one, please. I'm gonna explain to you.
I'm gonna explain to you.
Good. Now here a form to make, perhaps you can say a way to make music. That's going to be better. Okay, a way to make music. Let's repeat that one, please.
A way to make music.
Good. Here, instead of use, you're going to say usage. Okay, about the usage of of a pick. Let's repeat that one as well, please.
About the usage of a pick.
Good, exactly. Now I'm going to delete that one. Allows you here, instead for a faster playing, it's good, but it's better if you say allows you to play faster. Okay, allows you to play faster. Let's also repeat, please.
Um, Allows you to play faster.
Good. Now, these three we're going to work together. Remember, they are short adjectives. So we don't say more slow, more sharper, more sweet. So we're going to say slower, just sharper, and just sweeter.
Sweeter.
Okay? So slower, sharper, sweeter. Let's repeat that, please.
Slower, sharper, sweeter.
Sweeter. Good. Here, remember embedded questions, a question inside a question or a question inside a statement. Right? So we don't say no matter which technique do you prefer. We only say which technique you prefer, right? Without the do. So no matter which technique you prefer. Let's repeat that one, please.
No matter which technique you prefer.
Great. Then with the two ways with the two ways of playing the guitar or to play the guitar. Okay, one of those two. To play the guitar or of playing the guitar. Let's repeat one of those two, please.
Okay, and with the two ways to play the guitar, with the two ways of playing the guitar.
Yes, correct. Now here, you corrected yourself. This is good, but just for you to practice, remember, doesn't, right? He doesn't fail any note, but instead of fail, also you're going to say miss. Si quiere decir no se equivoca en ninguna nota, he doesn't miss any note. All right,
Okay.
so let's repeat that one, please.
He doesn't miss any note.
Exactly. Then he has a precise, but you didn't mention the noun. Okay, so you have to say he has a precise playing, right? Es como tiene una manera de tocar muy precisa. All right, he has a precise playing. So let's repeat that one, please. A precise playing.
He has a precise playing.
Good. And here, remember, adjectives don't have plural, right? So even if you're talking about solos, plural, you don't say melodics or longs. You just say melodic and long. Okay, so those solos are melodic and long. Let's repeat that one, please.
Those solos are melodic and long.
Good. Now remember, you wanted to say virtuoso. You can say virtuous, or you can say gifted. Okay, when you're gifted, it means that you have that ability, like it's your ability. All right, so let's repeat those two, please. Gifted and virtuous.
Gifted and virtuous.
Good. Then the stress here is going to be control. Control.
Control.
Great. The U here, instead of produce, is going to be more like EU, like produce, produce.
Produce.
And this OU, it's going to become like louder, louder.
Louder.
Okay. Exactly. Okay, so that's it. Again, in general, with here, we're finishing everything. The feedback of your presentation, but also the course, and also, well, this practice with me. So in general, all right, about this feedback, about the lessons that we covered, about any question that you have, Leandro, let me know, please. Do you have any final questions or comments before finishing this last class? Let me know, please.
How can I practice? Like
it depends what exactly, because there are many things to practice. What do you feel? Because I'm going to give you also some recommendations very briefly, but what do you feel that you need to practice more? It depends on that.
I think the speaking also. Yes, the speaking.
Okay, if it's the speaking, again, it depends. It's a good idea to be in classes to practice that. So that's always the best option, right? To have people to speak with, right? If you have someone to speak with that language, is always the best option. Okay, and you have to do that frequently. But if you don't have the chance of practicing with someone, but I imagine that you can get, right? You have the internet. On the internet, you can find people around the world. There are places, if you look for some of those places, let me look for them. Perhaps you can look for those web pages. I have a list here, I think. Okay, yes, it's here. You can visit these places in Leandro, this one. Okay, so you have one that is Hello Talk, one that is Tandem, and one that is Free for Talk. All right, if you go to one of those, you're going to be able to chat with people, with native speakers, and to have conversations because they want to learn also Spanish, perhaps, so you can teach each other. All right, so you can go to one of those places, and that's a way to practice. Another way, this is part of another course that we have, you can record yourself saying the things you're going to do throughout the day. Okay, so all in all, as a summary, try to get to one of those web pages to practice with other people, or try to just record yourself talking about anything that you want. Then it's important that you listen to those recordings, and that's going to help you a lot. And of course, you have to listen to a lot of English, right? I believe that you do because you like music, right? That is English speaking music, which is very good. But if you get to listen to podcasts and if everything that you listen to is in English, that's always a plus. All right. So again, there's not a way to practice, but the more you speak with other people and the more English you listen to, it is the better. All right. So in
All
general, that's
right.
the main recommendation I can give you. And again, so to practice also your writing and all those details, we couldn't work on this one because this was very, very fast and a very short course, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
But read some articles, all right? It's important to read some articles to see the writing there, to see the structure of the articles. It's always a good idea to visit CNN, for example, or BBC, or any place in which you have English articles. Give it a look. Okay, you can read one article a day, and you're always going to get new words and punctuation marks and details for writing that you're going to take that into account. All right. So that's in general what I can tell you, Leandro. And everything is just on your own. Keep doing those things. But that's it in general. I don't know if you have any other questions or comments before finishing.
No, I don't have questions.
All right. So as I'm going to say some last things, but as I'm doing it, I'm sharing please the last surveys. Leandro, this is the daily survey.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're also going to have the final, right? The teacher's evaluation over here. So that's one. And this is the last one. There you go. All right. So again, this is the last day we're having contact here. But remember that you have my number, all right, on WhatsApp.
Mm-hmm.
In case you have some questions or doubts for it can be the TOEFL or just English in general, you can write, okay? Perhaps I'm
Okay.
not going to reply
Thank you.
immediately, but when I check and when I have the time, I'm going to, all right, get back to you to answer that. All right?
All right.
Good. So that's it. Thanks for being here. Thanks for working with me. I hope you do well. You have one preparation course. It's not going to be with me, okay? It's going to be with a different person. So I hope you take advantage of that course. And that's it, okay? Good luck with everything, Leandro.
Thank you for all.
No, you're very
Thank you.
welcome. Have a good night and enjoy the rest of the time in the program. Bye bye.
Bye. Have a good night.
Thank you.